tell you about... Oh, hey everybody, welcome back to Church at Home, where we're learning how to go and make disciples, how to stand strong in the spiritual battle. Hopeful and I are coming today over to Vanity Fair to see if there's someone we can invite to meet the King.
Oh, sadly, so far no one is listening. We prayed before coming, and the King has led us here.
I feel like he's directing us to someone who needs to hear the truth. We've been looking for an opportunity to show kindness.
Oh! Ankle! That merchant, his stuff has fallen off his table.
Ruffians, you better run! Coming and knocking my stuff off my table. If I get my hands upon you...
Let me help you.
Oh, such a helpful lad. Why, a helpful lad deserves a helpful gift. You're free to pick one thing from my table, free of charge.
No, thank you. I'm just glad to help.
Oh, no, don't be so shy. Come in. Oh, look here what we have. It's a shackle. Isn't it so shiny? It's directly from the Giant Despair's fortress. Only the best for my customers. Or, do you have someone you need a little revenge upon? Straight to the back? Oh, no one then. A little swig of this, and all of your worries will just melt away. So what shall it be? Come, pick something.
No, I'm not interested.
What? Is my stuff not good enough for you?
Look, the stuff you're selling, King Elyon has warned us not to mess with. It is dangerous. It will separate us from God.
Ew, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. Look here, everyone. He's too good to have fun with us. He's one of them, the Goody Two-Shoes.
No! I wanted to help you see the truth.
The truth? The truth? Whose truth? So now our truth isn't even good enough for you. The truth is that you should be locked up. You, sir, are a disruptor of the peace. God! Worldly justice. This gentleman here, he's disrupting. He's ruining our fun. We want him locked up.
Cool.
Oh no! They've taken Faithful off to prison. Oh, there's nothing that I can do. I'm going to see King Elyon and to get Sir Mark. Sir Mark!
Hopefully.
The most horrible news! Faithful has been arrested by the citizens of Vanity Fair. They say they're planning to kill him in the morning.
I'm not going to stand for this. I'm going to go over to Vanity Fair and I'm going to tear the place up.
I understand how you feel, but you should see the King before you do anything. I'm hopeful that God will deliver.
You're right, hopeful. And I'm going now to see the King.
Yes, you do that.
King Elyon, those horrible peasants over in Vanity Fair, they've arrested Faithful unfairly. They've locked him up. I'm ready, my king. I'll go attack those pagans. I'll tear them apart. Sir Mark, you will do no such thing. Have you so quickly forgotten Ephesians 6:12? Ephesians 6:12, yes. Hey kids, why don't we read this verse together again? Ephesians 6:12. It says, our fight is not against human beings. It's against the rulers, the authorities, and the powers of this dark world. It's against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly world. You know, all of this just gets me worked up. It makes me feel like a lion inside. Roar! Why don't we say this verse again like a lion? Are you ready? Say it with me. Roar! Our fight is not against human beings. It's against the rulers, the authorities, and the powers of this dark world. It is against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly world. Roar! So, King Elyon, if I can't attack people, then what do I do? Do I just let it happen? No, you pray. There are times, many times, that you will need to do things to act on your prayers. But physically attacking another person, you leave the revenge to me. Fight in your prayers. Oh, but come on, King Elyon, can't I just go knock one of them on the head for Faithful? No. Sir Mark, I know it's hard to understand whenever bad things happen, but there is a plan in motion, and if you attack, you're going to get in the way of what's about to happen. Go to the royal library and read about Peter's imprisonment in Acts 12. Yes, my king, I will go immediately. I will read and I will devote myself to prayer. Oh, let's see, Acts 12. Okay, let's see here, Acts 12. It says about King Herod Agrippa. He had James killed by the sword, and then he had Peter arrested. And Peter, he was put under 16 guards in prison. But the church prayed and kept praying. And finally the night of Peter's trial came, and he had fell asleep. He fell asleep. The next day he's going to be tried and probably put to death. But I suppose you have that much trust and faith in God, you can sleep no matter where you're at. In fact, he was chained up to 2 guards. And that's whenever an angel appeared and said, "Quick, get up." And the chains fell off of Peter. And the angel told him, "Get dressed, put your coat on and follow me." And so they walked out of the prison, and they went past the first and the second guard posts, and then they came to the giant iron gate that kept the prison shut off from the city street, and the iron gate just opened up on its own. And so as they walked out, the angel just suddenly disappeared, left Peter. And the crazy thing is, this whole time Peter thought it was all a dream, and he suddenly realized it's true, it's really true, that God had sent an angel to save him and from what Herod and the Jewish leaders had planned. And so Peter, he went to where he knew the church would be and where they were praying. And as he knocked on the door, a servant came and opened the door. But when they recognized Peter, they didn't even open. They just shut the door back in Peter's face, and they ran to tell everybody else, leaving Peter standing there. And everybody else, they were saying, "Oh, you must be out of your mind. That can't really be Peter. He's in prison." And then they began to think, well, maybe it's an angel. But Peter, the whole time, he kept knocking. And finally, they came to the door to see, and when they saw him, they were amazed. You know, they were praying for a miracle, for Peter to be freed. And did they really believe that God was going to do it? You know, I think God, He wants us to truly believe. As the old saying is if we're going to pray for rain, let's get our umbrella ready. That we really believe that God is going to take care of it. That's what I've got to do. I've got to go to God in prayer about Faithful. God's going to take care of this. God, thank you that you always hear me. And God, you say that my battle is not against flesh and blood. And you say you're the one that will fight for us. Well, I'm coming today to ask you to fight for Faithful. God, be with him. Help him. Free him.
How can you be so happy in prison?
Worldly justice. Look, no matter what may be happening, God is with me. He will see me through.
I wish I could know that kind of peace. Look, the town folks mean to kill you in the morning. You've done nothing wrong to deserve such a death. Come, I'm going to get you out of here. I want to meet this King Elion and learn about your God.
Oh, hey everybody, while we're sneaking out of town, why don't you pause the video and play a quick game of hide and seek? It's going to take a bit to safely sneak out of town. So grab someone and challenge each other to see who can hide the best. Ready? Go. You can pause the video now. You're back. We're almost out of town.
Here's the exit. Let's go.
Oh God, you've got to come through for Faithful. It's unfair how he's been thrown into prison. Just ask me that you'd find some way to take the chains off of him, to open the prison doors, to free him, God. Please, you've got... Oh no, they killed him. It's a ghost. Oh, incorporeal spirit, what final words?
No. God is faithful. He made a way for me to escape.
You're alive? Faithful. You're alive? You're alive! You're alive! I thought for sure they'd kill you. Wait, what's he doing here? He's one of them.
This is worldly justice. He helped me escape. I'm taking him to meet the king. We gotta go. See you later. You're gonna love the king.
Oh, how amazing is this? Not only did God free Faithful, but we also got a new member of Justice that's going to meet King Elyon. How amazing! You know, we've been talking recently about the prayer part in the arsenal of God. And here's another one of the prayers, the prayer of supplication. Supplication is a big word, but basically it means praying for other people, asking God to help the person, fighting on their behalf in prayer in the spiritual realm. It's hard to understand what's going on. And sometimes we wonder, God, do you even hear? God, what's going on? Why are we having to go through this? But God always hears, and kind of like the story in Acts 12 today, it wasn't immediately that Peter was set free from prison. It took a while that he was in prison. But God had a plan, and whenever the time was right, God worked it all out. Sometimes we want to go and just take care of it ourselves. And sometimes we do have to, what they say, put feet on our prayers. We have to go and as we pray, there's things that we know we need to do. But first and foremost, we have to go to God and seek Him in prayer and fight it in prayer. It reminds me of another story that I came across of a minister that he had went into a city to start a church. He knew God was leading there, and God pointed out the building that he wanted the minister to build the church in. And so the minister purchased it. He took all of his money and poured into getting it ready for his first service. And that's whenever he got a phone call. A phone call from a lawyer he'd seen recently as they were signing all the papers. And the lawyer said, there's one more piece of paper I've got to sign before you can do anything with that building. Okay, we'll sign it. The lawyer said, what you going to do for me? And by the time the pastor got off the phone, he was like, he didn't know what he was going to do because he was stuck. And he said it felt like the enemy, Satan, came into the room and just said, ha, 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 I've got you right where I want you. And God told the pastor, you've got to pray about this. You've got to fight this in prayer. You're not going to fight the lawyer. You're not going to fight the people. You're going to fight this in prayer because it's a spiritual battle. And as the pastor began to obey God and he did what God told him to do in prayer, he got a phone call back from the lawyer. The lawyer says, sir, I shouldn't have acted that way the other day. I shouldn't have treated you that way. You get your people down here first thing tomorrow. I'll get all the paperwork signed. This building will be totally yours to do whatever you want to with it. God can win the victory in the spiritual realm as we pray. But that brings us to the end of our time together again this day. If you enjoyed this time, be sure to like and share it with others. And also, if you don't already have an adult doing this with you, tell them, go to gcogkids.com. Free resource there to download to do a fun, easy family devotion together. But we're calling it #Reignite the Fire. But for now, that brings us to the end. But it's been wonderful having this time with you. We'll see you again real soon.